Although our phones may be the most convenient, I highly recommend watching this video on a larger screen, such as an iPad, tablet, laptop, or desktop, for the best experience in understanding your results. Hey there, and welcome. Before we dive in, I want to share something eye-opening with you. Did you know that over 60% of the people who receive lab results without proper guidance either misunderstand them or worse, they do nothing with the information at all? What a waste, right? That's why this walkthrough is so important. I'm Dr. Kristen Kidgell, and inside this quick video, I'm going to show you exactly how to navigate your results so you can finally understand what your body's been trying to tell you. And don't worry, if at any point you feel like you want support interpreting your results or need help creating a custom plan, you can always book a consultation directly through our website at naturaldoctorsolutions.com. So let's jump in. Hey everybody, Dr. Kristen Kidgell here. I want to go over information that will help you understand your results. I understand that if you just skim past those paragraphs and you look at this and you just read what's in red, you're going to be like possibly overwhelmed. That's the number one response I get, and confused, high up there, tied probably with the number one response that we get. So I want you to just take a moment and just watch this video because it's going to help you really, dare I say, digest this material and really get the most benefit out of it. That's the most important thing, is we want to make sure that with any test that you get with Natural Doctor Solutions that you understand your results. And then slowly but surely, you find ways to either make changes or add different things, or just when it starts making sense, you get control, you get confidence, you know what to do. And then when you start making different choices or just different lifestyle changes, then when you start getting the results, you just are like, yeah, I've got the confidence, I've got the knowledge. So this is a place I hope you return back to, because there is a bunch of knowledge in here and a bunch of data that can really help you with your next steps. Keep in mind, what I believe is very important is that you just think, okay, do I just want to go, what's my health like? Do I just really need to make a fast change, or do I need to take my time and kind of go through this slowly? That is a personality trait. Everybody is different, but find the pace that works for you. So the video that you're watching right now is this video here. And if we scroll down just a little bit more, please take the time to read these couple little paragraphs. But I want you to see right out of the gate, one of the best features that you will come back to is this button right here. I don't know how to make it more clear, but the further information button takes you to a page on our website, which is understanding your results. So I'm obviously not going to read all this to you, but we have taken the time to break down the different foods and the different testing that was involved. Now, some of you didn't get possibly the largest test, so you may not see this on your test, but this page is for everything that we can possibly test. So we're going to come back to this page in just a second. So let's go back to this page. Now, if we scroll down, you can print this right out of the gate, but I don't recommend it. I recommend printing it when you are ready to walk around with this data, because this is just the short, sorry, it's looking for my printer, but it's the short and sweet version of what this is going to show you. But what it's not going to do, it's not going to do this. It's not going to take you to this page and explain everything. Okay, so this page is really, really important, and all of these are clickable, and we'll come back to this in just a second. Minimize this. So as we scroll down, you can click on here, and these will just take you to the sections, but the red is for specifically to get your attention. It's not to scare you. It's just have you really look at, like, okay, well, what's the sensitivity? Oh, it's wheat. And what's the category? And then here again, well, it's a sensitivity. It's rum. Now, granted, there's technically 4 on here, but what might be related to this? This gives people a little bit more in-depth view of what other things would be related to these items that we've shown you. So when I click related items, you can see here that it opened this information here. So it's an extended list of just precautionary measures of what may also be found that you're sensitive to, but not commonly, dare I say, consumed or purchased. Granted, obviously coconut, but some of these things are just a little harder to find. Most people are not buying, spelt unless you really know that you're looking for it. So I'm going to minimize this. Please take a moment to definitely look at that. Now, with the red, the most important thing to understand with anything that's red, you'll see there's more red down here. So we'll get back to this. We're just going to do this in sections. You want to cut this out. You want to give yourself a good 90 days minimally. 6 months is ideal to make a substantial change. And I highly recommend you also, take the time to look at some of this other data. But if we understand what the food sensitivities and drink sensitivities and intolerances do, they create a micro amount of inflammation. But typically, if we're consuming it regularly, it's creating more inflammation and our body never gets a break. So cutting the reds out will make a big difference. Now, coming down to the oranges, this is where we get more of a moderate response. And with that, what we want to do is take these out. And if we're going to consume them or be exposed to them, we'd want to do it not very often. I was going to say randomly, but just not daily or multiple times in a week. I would think that with the moderate ones, we can consume them intermittently and our body can handle that. Now, that orange here is all of these different things. Now, again, this is a sample report. This is not your report. This is not my report. This is just a sample report that was put together here. And environmental and organic compounds, yes, this can be found in food, but it's also organic material that can be purchased in supplementation. And that's, if you went back to, let's see, I kept it open up here. You could see it up there. But right here, remember the further information, we've got here environmental sensitivities, food additives, what is gut health. So when we click on these, it gives us information. So for example, if we stay in the food and drink section, we've got food allergies, food intolerance, and this is just an example of lactose and gluten, which is very common. Some of the symptoms, the management talks about avoidance. If you need more consultations, which we do at Natural Doctor Solutions, we do consultations and help people wrap their head around this data. How do they incorporate in their lives? Everybody's lifestyles are different. If they want to make the change, how do I make this change? But this, if we scroll down, we've got meal prep, we've got communities, we've got groups, relaxation techniques, and dairy sensitivities. Well, we've given you alternatives and maybe some at-home meal prep. So if we go back to this, all of these are like that. They give you advice, they give you clarity, and they give you advice. So clarity is of utmost importance of what's going on with our bodies and how do things react with our bodies and what we should do. So recommendations, clarity. Most important, that button here should be flashing. That's how important it is for you to really wrap your head around how much knowledge is in that page. Okay. Now, let's just say, okay, well, Dr. Kristen, you said that this test covered the 1,250, maybe, more. If you want to know what got tested, but you didn't react to, you can click this button over here. Let me draw your attention to it. Here, it's right here. These buttons literally expand all of these categories on what else was tested. It's a lot. And that's why we've condensed it. We're going to talk about overwhelm. That's a really easy way to get overwhelmed. Now, just keep remembering that an allergy is different than an intolerance, and that blood work for this type of work is totally different than hair. Hair holds on more data. It gets more into our past. And then blood is more of the last few days, if not weeks. So moving right along here, we've got now the categories of gut health. We've got the categories of vitamins. We've got hunger hormones. Again, you may not see this on your results because you may not have purchased this test, but we wanted you to see what is available. Now, this is reading low. This particular bacteria is reading low. Well, what do we do about that? Well, I don't know, but we have a place where you can find out. And it's this button, the further information. It opens this page and you can go to gut health. And it just gives you all kinds of data. Now, I'm getting ready to publish a book. It is all about gut health and inflammation. And these particular sensitivity tests is a easy, affordable way to get started. And for over a decade, we've been using these with patients and clients and family. And if you don't know my story about my daughter over a decade ago, and this data literally changed her life. And I just watch it over and over again. And that's why you've got me shooting my own videos here. It's time to really make a stand and really help people. And what's more important than anything to me is people understanding. And then they have the confidence to make the choices that are work for them, not for anybody else in their family, not for any of their friends. This is what works for you. So that's what this red category is. Again, red is to get your attention, not to scare you, but obviously green is not as alarming as red. So it's obvious most people do understand about vitamins, and there is a whole section, further information. Hunger hormones. This is a really great write-up if you're not sure about hunger hormones, stress hormones, and then the collagen or the hyaluronic acid is what we're testing there. So what's in range? Here's your categories of what was in range and what we tested. So you can see all these different things and get more data. Now, moving into digestion, these would be digestive enzymes that your body does create. And if you're low in them, that's what this is coming up with. So my recommendation, just in this case, if this was you, I'd say digestive enzymes, as whole food as possible, non-synthetic, but digestive enzymes. Now, again, don't forget, I'm just constantly reminding you, I do not want you to forget that you can always just take a moment and you can go back up to the further information. Okay, so I'm going to get back to where we were. And we did that. And here, then I would recommend printing it if you so desired. Then it's the very short of just, let's see, it's going to look from my printer again. But if I showed you this, you can see that it's just giving you the shortened list. So I'm going to close that. Let's talk about the food sensitivity journal briefly. We're going to wrap this up talking about a few things we have here that you can just print off. This is for people that want to eat a certain food and just watch their body. Sensitivities and intolerances don't always show up the same day. Sometimes they do with some people. Sometimes they take days. And I wouldn't say weeks, but definitely sometimes 2, 3, 4 days. And then let's go back to this. We've got food reintroduction journal. The top of this explains what's recommended. So this would be just instructions like how do you reintroduce foods that you've eliminated, and how do you track if you're still sensitive to them, what your sensitivity level is. Our bodies can get toxic. They can get toxic overload from things that we're breathing, things that we're putting on our skin, things we're consuming, things we're drinking. And with that, you become more sensitive. Your reactions become more, dare I say, obvious. Skin reactions. Well, that didn't happen last year. Well, maybe you're more toxic this year. So when you pull a lot of this stuff out and your body gets a time to heal, that 3 to 6 month window gets time to heal, and then your body goes through healthier changes as you want to reintroduce some foods, then you get to see how you respond. That is the best way to do that. And then what you're tracking is these things like bloating and the gas, the diarrhea or constipation, skin rashes. And these are when people really start having the aha moments. Because at first it's like, I got to change this and I love that and I eat that every day and I eat a lot of that and I love cheese and I love bread, and I hear it and I get it. I had a 12-year-old who thought her world was going to end. And now in her 20s, she's not looking back. She's coaching people, she's holding people's hand. And it's just really great. I remember her being a teenager, just helping her friends because she knew this data. I would teach her, and we had to do it slowly. But there's so many alternatives now for everything. And there are healthy versions, there's unhealthy versions, but it's about reading labels. Your health's important enough to read a label. And then we've got free ebooks, things on more information on inflammation, and then just exercise in general. These are not really big. Some ketogenic principles and some fasting principles. And then why sugar, refined sugar, not God sugar, not juices. I mean, obviously, a lot of orange juice all the time. I'd rather you eat the orange and I'd rather you eat the apple, but refined sugar, man sugar, when it's added sugar, that's what we want to avoid. And this will explain to you why. And then just balanced information about balanced life and meditation and exercise and things like that. So that's all there for you. This obviously has all kinds of information here about different symptoms that can be related to imbalances in the body. And then here is where we have our different blood panels. And this is here where you can, if you want a consultation, you can do that. And our about section, this is our foundation. This is about the bioresonance testing. This is everything going on here. Briefly, my plate, worth taking the time. This is a government site that helps people learn how to incorporate a healthier diet. Okay, this is some food planning, helps with shopping. This is not me at all, but this is, it says it right here that says, let me see if I can get my magic pen here. This is a third-party government-backed website, okay? And it's not part of us, but we want to just give people as much resources as possible. So I'm going to let that be your summary of how to interpret this page that you opened when you got your results back.
Now, here's something else worth discussing and is important. On the Natural Doctors Solutions website, you'll see recommended resources and other types of testing, like our at-home blood test kits. These can help you even go deeper and get more knowledge about what's going on with your body. Whether it's a full panel or a simple nutrient check, these tools can give you more answers, more insight, and allow you to customize your path even further. It's about knowing what your body needs, not guessing. Because here's the thing, when you understand what's going on inside, you can finally answer those big questions with confidence. You can ask yourself, can I do this alone? Do I need support? If I need support, what kind of support? You don't have to feel lost anymore. We're making the complicated simple again, one step at a time. Actually, one test at a time. So if or when you're ready, booking a consultation is just a click away. Whether you just need clarity or a custom plan or just someone to help connect the dots, those are very common calls and consultations, and we're here. You deserve to feel in control of your health, and it starts with understanding.